Get ready to weigh in.
Okay.
Here we go. New study explains why some single men are having a hard time finding a new partner.
World order. They're deliberately trying to turn women against men. They have to divide the peasants. That's the only way the elites can retain control.
Study claims many young men are not being taught early how to treat women correctly at home. I agree with you.
I don't give a fuck. Give me a robot. All men want robots. That's all we want.
Yeah.
4 wives, robots, inshallah. Put the burqa on.
Yep.
Wait.
Wouldn't it be easier? Wow. Right? Wouldn't that be easy?
Here's the real reason they're saying this. The author says it's because women are raising their standards for relationships, as we should.
True. Well, that's why also, look, you see this.
Right.
Women are hypergamous, which means they mate across and up dominance hierarchies. And so if you're a male who's successful in a given hierarchy, the probability that you're going to have additional mating opportunities is exceptionally high.
They want to.
Alert. They're not awake, right? They're just kind of following along.
We suffer. The modern world suffers from a bout of cowardice. The average man in the world today is just a fucking coward. It's
true.
What are you talking about? We don't care. 2 coffees. That's it.
Welcome to Bro Taste This.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another exciting episode of Vida y Vino, brought to you by the Bro Tastes Boys. It is I, your lovely host who knows the most, Phil Golden Corral. And with me, as always, is Juan, the only Juan legend.
Thank you, you beautiful fuck.
Hey, I'm back here, operating 100%. I'm so glad that you guys did a wonderful podcast. I knew nothing about Arsenal FC and the Bears, but now I do. I'm so happy to see what Justin Fields does out in the field.
You mean Jacob Fields?
Exactly. And with me, replacing the big tech daddy himself, which are big shoes to fill. What is he, size 13?
Who, Luis?
Oh, yes. But we'll get into that on top of the hour. With us today is a returning guest that knows the most. It is Michael J.P. Knaak. I'm sorry, my racism slipped there. I said ghost for so weird reason. But, yeah, no, we heard the comments. We heard the voices, the complaints that were appropriating white culture. So we have Michael here. Following the footsteps of the Ring of Power, we're going affirmative action. Not enough white voices are being heard. And in today's society, the white male voice is the most oppressed.
Is that okay? So I'm not going to agree with that, but hi, guys. Pleasure to be here.
And while Michael was just saying that, which brought me into a beautiful topic. On the top of the hour, we're going to be talking about the rise of lonely males, the rise of incel culture, and virgins, which is cool to be now. Ladies. And, and we're going to be talking about climate change, natural disasters. What's going on in California? Why are they always going dark from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.? And why can't I take a shower? Tune in. All right. Here we are. Now we got that out of the way. What's up, boys?
Hi, Phil. How you doing? You having a good day?
It's been a day. It's been a day, folks. We are in the second studio of Bro Tastes. This is the VYV headquarters.
Yeah, the Beloit headquarters. Mm-hmm. Yeah, VYV South.
VYV South, yeah. Don't mention Beloit.
All right.
I got a couple people looking out for me. But before we get into the people that want me dead, we're going to be talking about the business that wants us employed. It is Cooper and Fields today. Cooper and Fields.
Cooper and Thief.
Cooper and Thief, my bad. Cooper and Thief.
Red wine blend, 2019, out of California. Aged 3 months in bourbon whiskey barrels.
You can really tell by the notes of a barrel. You can really get that barrel oak smell from this wine.
Tastes like jam and spice.
Wow. I forgot how good this was. Honestly, drinking this, I feel like a couple monkeys in a barrel right now. You know, open it up and let me have fun.
You're always having fun, Phil. Let's be honest. You're always having fun.
Come on now.
Dude, you should have seen this guy this weekend.
Okay.
So we went to a cookout, and what's the name of the game that you played, Mafia?
Oh, Mafia.
You played Mafia, did
yeah.
you?
So Mafia.
Tell me you were narrating.
I was.
Of course you were.
I was.
Killer.
So we Mafia is a for those who don't know what Mafia is, it's a good card game that I picked up. We picked up in our drama school days.
Yeah, the theater days.
Theater. Yeah. And it's a simple guess who game of you trying to figure out who the Mafia members is before they eliminate all the other members. It's a real good thriller guessing game.
Yeah, it's like Clue, you know.
Yeah, you need probably 6 people minimum to do it.
Yeah. We had 14.
Right? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A full crowd.
We went maybe like 6 rounds until they got the Mafia members.
Oh, they succeeded, did they? All right.
They were pretty smart. They were like, well, when he was asking us to, so the plot of the game is you delve out a couple of cards, and in the cards you have 2 jokers, 1 king, and 1 queen. The goal of the joker is to eliminate all the other numbers, and you go through multiple rounds where everyone's...
Each round, they're allowed to eliminate 1 member of the town.
Correct.
Right, who everyone else is a townsman if you don't get assigned a role.
Yep.
And during the elimination period, the jokers, it's you close your eyes and you have to cast your votes. It's very anonymous, so you don't know what's happening. Did I say that right? Anonymous?
Not the second time you did, yeah.
How did I say that? Anonymous?
Yeah, something like that.
Man. But no, it was great. It's a good crowd game. I highly recommend it. Look up the rules too. There's a werewolf game that's a similar format that it's already like a board game. Like
now, did you follow the traditional storyboard, or did you build your own storyboard?
So the traditional storyboard is the 1940s Holocaust.
It is not.
That is not?
Okay, that is not the traditional. No, that is...
Okay. So usually when we played in high school, you were Helen Keller trying to make 13 Days and Nights with Maggie Keeps.
Is that right?
That was, in fact, a scenario that our particular group of idiots played in high school, yes.
I was more tasteful. I think you would appreciate this.
Okay.
The year is 2024. Joe Biden's totalitarian government has taken over.
See, what's the second word you just said?
Totalitarian?
Authoritarian?
No, totalitarian.
Totalitarian.
What? Totalitarian?
Like total, and then itarian.
That sounds like
totalitarian. Yeah. Totalitarian.
Well, this ain't a fucking spelling bee. So
you're right. This ain't no. 4th grade English.
Exactly. This is a tale of the rabbit and the hare. Yes, you're faster and more clear with your words, but you're gonna die first because I'm a turtle. Turtles live forever. Not a lot of people know that.
Turtles do live forever.
No, but for the storyboard this time, it was really tasteful. Joe Biden's America. Every state has a Portland, so every village is Portland, so and so, and instead of police is Antifa.
Is that what that was supposed to be?
Yeah. Jesus. Antifa was beating people down with bike locks, and someone got tarred and feathered.
Yeah. I love you, Phil. I could not match your creativity. I'd never will be able to ever.
Hey, neither could my therapist, so it's okay. Neither could my therapist.
I couldn't keep up.
It's just too much. She's checking into her own therapist, but let me tell you about my day.
Speaking of too much, what isn't too much is this lovely Cooper and Thief wine. This red blend. What are you guys getting? I'm getting light vanilla, a little bit cherry notes from this. It's got a beautiful color to it, beautiful taste. Price value for this bad boy, you're looking at about $27.99. If you're in Illinois, maybe $30 with the state tax. And that's not my fault. That's Lori Lightfoot's.
It tastes more of a blackberry jam with like pepper.
With pepper in it?
Because there's I feel like you taste that, like some spiciness from the bourbon barrel.
So honestly, I don't drink a ton of wine, but as far as reds go, this seems a lot smoother than most that I've had before.
It is very smooth. Yeah. It is very smooth.
Yes, it's also got the perfect.
Now tell us, Phil, what's your connection to this wine?
Oh, so interesting story with this wine here. For those who know me, I'm pretty close with the trans community, and
some might say you love them.
Some might say that I got my ears to the ground and my asshole wide open to the trans community. I'm knowing every step they take.
Sure
I'm one step ahead at every moment with the trans community. But
thank you. You have such a way with words.
I'm a bit of a Mark Twain myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a wordsmith, a cocksmith, if you may. But as I was saying, the last time I had this wine, I was going through like a full maybe 24-hour binge, right? And I was, maybe 22.
Oh, the younger golden
23,
years.
I guess, right? 24.
Yeah.
When did the pandemic happen? 24, 22, 2020? Yeah, about 2 years ago, right? And, wow, I'm getting old. I was holed up in my place with my trans friend, and we spent the whole day just drinking. Now, it sounds cool, but as you progress throughout, like, the day, and it gets closer to, 20 hours, just like...
I can't believe you stayed awake that long.
Oh, yeah. And then, our bodies felt it at the end because my trans friend puked all over the place.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah. And this is after, my third run to the liquor store to, we're getting low. We got to go out there.
We're getting low.
Maybe we never run
How
out.
do they sell it to you? You don't hide it well.
No.
You already walk around looking like you're drunk.
I do.
So
very
I can't
much so.
imagine, adding liquor to that.
It's because I'm flat-footed. That's why that's, I move around so much,
Fair.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think,
Keeps
Michael?
you stable.
But no. And that was the last time I actually had this drink was about 2 years ago, and I knew back then it was like a delicious drink. I was like, wow, this is. It was cool in the moment, and and it all went to the floor, and it was very how you say Scooby Doo-ish,
Did you mix the wrong kind of food with it?
No,
while you were
we
there?
were
No,
just
this is just
drinking.
alcohol.
We were just drinking, right?
That was your body trying to survive.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, well, we can't actually process this.
My trans friend just threw up all over the floor, right? I'm like, oh, God.
And then slipped in it.
Well, no, they're throwing up. I'm like, oh, God. I get up trying to, get a mop and paper towels to clean it up. And it's a little dark at this point because it's maybe 8 p.m. or something like that. It's getting dark. So I'm running in the kitchen. I grab paper bags so that they can puke in it. Just puke into the bag.
All right, that's fair.
They quit puking on the floor. I cleaned that up, and before I cleaned it up, I ran back and I very comical slipped into the puke of red. It wasn't even chunky puke. It was just
liquid,
just blood, just red wine.
That's disturbing.
Just so thick and it was like a TV show. You know, they that dark brown.
Yeah, and you've got the sort of drip effect that they do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
red wine puke hurts.
viscous, very viscous, thick liquid. But I bet you there was mucus in there. I know when I puke, I get little snot bubbles coming out.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Do your eye ducts open up too? You're crying a little bit.
Exactly, crying, which is kind of what the whole state of California is doing. Which brings us to a perfect transition, Michael. Thank you. A seamless transition right there by the one Michael J.P. Knaak.
He's an artist.
And what are we talking about California now? We're going to be talking about climate change and disasters. You guys know what's going on out there?
No. What's going on in California?
Phyllis and Tucker Carlson.
Well, there's a species of people called Mexicans, or as we call them, cholos. They're not bad, but I assume.
Are you serious?
How does that quote go?
The quote goes.
They're bad, but I assume they're good or something.
No. Let's see. Donald Trump's quote is, "They're rapists, they're murderers, and some I assume are good people."
That used to be my ringtone. I used to go heavy with that. They're sending their rapists. They're sending their murderers. They're sending bad people. Some I assume are good. Some I assume are good.
Is that what you think? Is that what's going on in California?
No. Where California is currently suffering from a drought. The whole state's been battling, clean water for a while, but it's really progressed with the pandemic and people, being at home and not being able to commute as much, thus increasing the usage of water. Now, currently, they're facing a drought with wildfires going on out there in California too, and to top all that off, they're having record heat waves. Right, Gavin Newsom just came out on Twitter, the Twitterverse, for those who don't know. Now you do. On Twitter, recommending the citizens of California or Los Angeles, as they call it, that from 4 to 6 p.m. try to reduce your electricity output by shutting off major appliances and keeping your thermostat to 78 degrees and above.
78.
78 in already hot California.
Seems pretty hot, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm speaking from a Wisconsin standpoint, right? So
I get hot in 69 degrees. Get away, did that?
I got the joke, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It was very amusing.
Yeah, we go for the low-hanging fruit here. Here in Vida and Vino.
Always.
But that's what happened in California right now. And personally, me speaking, as Michael said over here, we're in Wisconsin, the Midwest. It gets pretty hot out here. I can't imagine shutting this off for 2 hours without the fan or the AC going. Kill me now. I mean, seriously. It's not good over there.
Yeah. Well,
it's already bad enough that, like, their crime is, like, going rampant. They have these things called, like, flash mobs.
they've got a major homeless population over there, right?
Yes, they do.
This heat wave is probably going to, well, it's probably pretty lethal, I assume.
I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago, but California, it's just funny enough, you talked about the homeless. They just approved a bill that will put the homeless into unvacant hotel rooms that don't fill up.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, that's the people are like, oh, that's good, I guess. But the hotel owners are like, you're going to drive away business. This is bad for, our staff. We feel unsafe, et cetera, et cetera. They've interviewed a couple of homeless people there, too, whether they support it or not. It's really mixed feelings about that, too, from the homeless
people.
Because a lot of the traditional homeless that are, like, job insecure, financially insecure, are, traditional homeless people. There's a new wave of homeless that's like mentally ill people that don't really have a functioning way. So not only are they financially unstable,
Homie, I don't know how new that is.
Not only are they financially unstable. What was the other thing I said? Shit.
Mentally unstable.
Mentally
that's
unstable.
what you were going for.
Well, they're mentally unstable to a new degree, per se. People that are out there with schizophrenia that are like, they're socially inept, per se.
Yeah.
So you have that breed of people, and that's what the homeless people that are like being interviewed are saying that, like, yeah, some of us can't find a job, but some of us are just crazy that need like mental help, and they're just locking or pulling them all together.
Yeah.
As like one vague category of like, you're homeless, without giving them the proper resources.
Yeah. And then leading to some of those reasons, like that employee stated that they feel unsafe.
Exactly.
Because they're being asked to do a job that really professionals should be doing, health professionals should be doing.
Health professionals, mental professionals. Hell, we can go out to California and start talking to the homeless, see like what's up with them.
Yeah, you'll be a interview professional.
Yeah, totally. I'll sit them down and be like, so how did Biden
Biden
put you here?
Okay.
What did Biden do? How can we change this?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the recent approval rating for Joe Biden? The highest it's ever been.
What is it, Tucker?
I think it's at 52%.
Oh, really? That much of a jump, huh?
Yeah. And I think, what was it, 2 weeks ago? The student debt?
Loan.
Yeah.
Well, the student loan, but he also gave that speech, I think, was it last week Thursday or something like that? Right? He gave a very dramatic speech, kind of calling out the MAGA crowd as a threat to American democracy. Like,
is that the speech where like that famous picture is floating around where he's got the Navy soldiers behind him and their white gloves
Marines.
and the Marines?
Yes.
And he's got "Hoorah, Semper Fi." Semper Fi. If you know, you know. Do you know?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I know what Semper Fi means, but I don't know what you're referencing.
Semper Fi.
Okay.
Hoorah.
Is there a point there, Phil? You started so fast.
I'm patriotic. What can I say, folks? But yeah, that's the famous picture going around with the Marine soldiers. Joe Biden's with his hands in the air. There's the White House painted old ominous red.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a cropped picture, if I'm correct, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
did
super
actually.
cropped,
I
yeah.
didn't watch the. I don't know the picture exactly, and I didn't watch the.
There's just this
itself.
viral image of Joe Biden kind of looking very ominous because it was like blue, red, blue like the way that.
Okay, so he's got the red behind him.
Yeah, and he's got like only red lined up behind him, so he's looking very ominous for a second. But it's
looks reminiscent
much
of
larger.
Fascist imagery.
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
40s and
exactly.
50s,
But it's much larger. It's a much larger picture that they just cropped down to the single red bar between two blue sides.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of upstir going on about that, but is their pool ratings high as it's ever been?
Right. I imagine it's because a lot of liberals who were very disappointed in the lack of progress, really, on more progressive sort of items, right, and are just frustrated because the president doesn't seem to be able to get anything done. I'm sure that this was for them, him finally standing up and fighting, which is what they've wanted for the last several months, year and a half now.
Oh, it's been too long, that's for sure. While the support of the American people has finally gone up to 52%, I bet you the support of the Afghanistan people have gone down way below that.
Yeah, they're probably not terribly thrilled at
I think we're
America's behavior.
almost to a year where we pulled out from Afghanistan.
Yeah, the year anniversary was just a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Things are not going well there.
They're not celebrating a religious freedom out there?
No, not really. Freedom of religion isn't really a thing.
My favorite thing to come out of the whole Afghanistan and the Taliban insurrection and the whatever that is, the change of power, was Donald Trump was having a rally in Arkansas, Missouri, or Mississippi. He's having a big rally, and they're talking about the ladies, how like they're oppressed and they're wearing the hijabs and the burqas and all that stuff.
Okay.
And Donald Trump counter argues like, well, I mean, has anyone asked them? Do they even have it that bad? Ladies, think about this. You don't got to put your makeup on. You just put something over your face, and bam, it's much easier. They prefer it this way.
It's like he starts
verbatim.
out okay, and then it's a trade wreck that just keeps getting worse and worse. Like
that was great.
Okay.
That was great.
Am I right, ladies? He's like trying to like.
And that nobody agreed with him.
They went crazy.
Of course they did.
There's that back when he was rallying against Joe Biden, 2 years ago. There's that famous time where he took a glass of water, and they're like cheering for him because like a week ago or so, CNN was making fun of him, like, who drinks water like this?
Oh yeah. Right.
And then at the next rally, Donald Trump had staged a water glass right there. He held it up to the people as so like this. He's like, takes a sip of water.
Congrats.
He looks at it and then he just throws it away. He's like, oh, see, I can drink water.
Yeah.
Congrats.
What the fuck?
It's like when he was bragging about his cognitive test, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, look at this. Look, I'm so smart. They said I'm one of the smartest people, right?
I got the
Nobody has done
documents
this sort
right
of
here.
before. Yeah, look at this. And it's like this is literally to check if you have dementia. Like, everyone is supposed to pass this. You shouldn't be bragging about
See
this.
if you're cognitive functioning.
Mm-hmm.
But
What did you guys think about like the current like FBI investigations into him?
Well, I heard that all the documents came out blank, and they have a grand jury to give a master copy to Donald Trump, and anything he doesn't want disclosed will be taken out from the final jury. Did you see that?
No,
but they got what is
the master copy, right?
No, it's the
special master.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a position, not a copy.
It's a position, and it's a guy who's just literally just looking over the documents to see if anything qualifies for attorney-client privilege. And as far as I know, they haven't actually appointed anyone yet. And I believe both the prosecution lawyers and Trump's lawyers have to agree on who the special master is going to be. So, assuming that they don't get someone who's just a real partisan hack, you should get a special master that goes through him. Is like, yeah, most of this is not covered by attorney-client privilege. Would be my supposition.
Bless
anyway.
you.
I think I read that they
Joe Manchin's going to be it.
They selected a Republican like MAGA judge.
No, they're moving that quickly.
Yeah, that they selected some millennial judge who was appointed by Donald Trump.
I'm
pretty sure
that isn't the same judge who ruled that the special master was going to happen in the first place, right? Because
You know what? Then
it was
maybe
one of the
that-
Trump's
yeah.
appointees. That
Okay, then maybe that was a headline instead of.
I hope so.
of,
Otherwise, I'm very
getting,
alarmed.
yeah, yeah. Perhaps you're right, Michael. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why we upgraded to a white man for the rest of the podcast, because
It's-
the white people seem to be right most of the time.
No.
Well, hold on there.
See, the thing about Phil over here is he's a self-hating Mexican.
No. The only self-hating Mexicans you're gonna find are gonna be in California, because they can't shower, they're sweating all the time,
Because there's no water.
there's no water.
Just like where else, Phil?
It's just like Sri Lanka.
It's not like Jackson.
That was a beautiful transition.
It
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Damn it, and I missed
You're not
it.
wrong about Sri Lanka, though.
Yeah,
They've
Sri
got-
Lanka's
they
going
got
to
some
shit
problems
too.
there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's all going to shit. Quan, would you like to take us away for the Jackson Hole, Mississippi?
Well, the largest city in the state of Mississippi is currently dealing with safe drinking water issues. Their pipes are not providing like safe or just safe water.
Was this a Flint, Michigan thing?
Yeah,
type
kind of.
thing?
Yeah, kind of. Essentially, yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like the state was not investing in upkeep of the infrastructure, and
Did you see where
it
they put
eventually
their funds?
took a shit. And what was that?
Did you see where they put their funds for the for like public like welfare shit that were
No, what
supposed to
happened?
use for the water?
Where'd it go?
They NBC and CBS came out and said that the money that was used in Mississippi were used for Brett Favre to give speeches that he
What?
never gave.
Oh no.
Oh no!
So at the center of the water crisis in Jackson, Mississippi, is Brett Favre.
Oh my god!
For the
heard
mismanagement
that.
of like public funds from like Mississippi.
Yeah, we live in the best simulation.
I love it.
We really do.
Mhm.
We live in the best times. Like,
A world-changing pandemic happens, and what's the first thought our like congressmen and senators do?
Get Brett Favre in here.
No, how do we get rich off of this?
Oh yeah, that too.
How is this a tax deductible? Brett Favre, let's get Brett Favre out there. Talk about COVID. We'll write that off as a mark-off.
Jesus.
And no, so the whole city of Jackson, Mississippi, is currently facing a water crisis. They're being recommended not to shower.
Yeah.
And if you have to shower,
Shower with your eyes and mouth closed.
exactly, the water's so dangerous that you have to like essentially be a professional scuba diver to swim now. You got to go in scuba gear to fucking put a little snorkel so you don't get the water in you and all that shit.
What are you talking? Shut up.
To shower, it's getting that bad. You gotta shower in scuba gear.
Well, someone was telling me the other day that that water quality just around the world is awful. Like, there's nowhere on the planet that you can drink rainwater.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
you know what? That's funny. That's perfectly leads us to the next thing that we saw. Juan a week ago. By the way, killer episode with Luis about the Chicago Bears and the Arsenal FC. For those who are interested in more football news and what's coming up with this season and who to look out for, I recommend checking out episode 51, VYV, on YouTube or Spotify, wherever you get your shit from. But back to the real business. Right now, what Michael was just saying about there's no clean rainfall, no clean rainwater, no drinkable rainwater no more. Juan brought up the gay frogs. What was it, a week ago or so?
No, it's been many episodes ago.
Many episodes ago.
The episode, I can't remember which episode it was, but one particular episode we were talking about EDCs in the environment, endocrine disrupting chemicals, and like how testosterone and sperm counts are dropping globally because like of the amount of EDCs that the average human is like exposed to nowadays.
And for a friendly reminder for our viewers at home, an EDC stands for
endocrine disrupting chemical. So it's a chemical that'll disrupt your hormonal like system.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, so it's leading to women being like as fertile in their 20s as their grandmother was in her 30s.
Well, I don't know if that's so bad now.
Yeah, I like as a source, I recommend I believe her name is Dr. Shauna Swan in the book Countdown.
Okay, nice.
Counting down to a demographic collapse. then?
Yeah, essentially, countdown to 0 for the sperm counts.
That's gnarly.
Joy.
And that's kind of piggybacking of what Michael was saying about how like the chemicals of the EDCs are affecting like the sexual organs of these amphibians and animals, and very well humans too. Scientists have been saying that there are forever chemicals in our rainfall now, our rainwater. So what that, for those who don't know what forever chemicals means, are essentially chemicals that can't get rid of, that you can't get rid of, that are like in plastic shampoo bottles, containers and shit like that.
And they don't really break down over time naturally.
They're not biodegradable. They don't break down easily, as Michael was saying. There's so much pollution in the oceans. When that gets into the ocean, and correct me if I'm wrong, essentially rain is ocean tears, right?
Ocean tears?
Yeah, am I wrong there?
You mean
a lot of rainfall comes from the ocean? Yes.
The same way that tuna is the chicken of the sea, rainfall is the tears of the ocean.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
You know what?
Thank you.
It's actually it's poetry.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I'm a bit of romantic here.
And anyone that doesn't
Twain
understand
Jr.
that does not have a poetic heart.
Felonious Twain Jr. I like
That's
that.
right, Felonious Twain Jr.
Mm-hmm. But with the forever chemicals being in the rainfall, what that means is that there is no more drinkable water on this planet. Antarctica and the South Pole used to be the two best places on the Earth that weren't as polluted or contaminated, so they had the purest drinkable water. But their potency has gotten so bad, it's been so polluted, so contaminated, that it's 14 times higher than it is in most places in the world, which is alarming. Still, pretty much if Jackson, Mississippi becomes Portland, Maine, Portland, Oregon, Madison, Wisconsin, we're going to be looking at different alternatives. And one of those alternatives are not going to be rainwater, because that shit's gone. There's no way to, unless we become Bear Grylls and we filter it with our pee. There's no other reasons. I don't know. We're pretty much, screwed. And we're going to have companies like Nestle that are supporting the Russians in the Ukrainian war. They are. Look into that.
Got some passion about that.
I used to work for that evil corporation. I can say that now, even though I have my IRA set up with them. But we're gonna
maybe edit that part out. Maybe edit that last part out.
Woo. One thing you need to keep in mind though is that we need water. It's a natural resource that's vital for the human life. We're gonna, it's funny. Our generation of adults are the last generation to experience such like childhood trauma, those same magnitude that our parents went through. We have stories of our parents, oh, mommy, I fell down. Well, and they get smacked for like, big boys don't cry,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Man up and shit like
bit,
that.
Yeah.
We're essentially the last generation of that, right? No longer are we going to be like smacked in the ears at the public, at the fucking Walmart for making an uproar for a toy. Unless you live around my parts, then that's.
I was gonna say that's a lie. I still see that very much.
Mm-hmm. But going forward, we're going to be no longer are we going to be red flags being girls with daddy issues. We're going to have to. That's the thing of the past. We're going to be looking at like body modifications due to the fact that the rainwater, our natural water, are all contaminated and polluted. Folks, what I'm saying here is that daddy issues aren't going to be a thing anymore. We're going to be looking at like girls with like gills.
Yeah,
or
who's got a
dudes
tail?
Yeah.
That's what we're
Who
going to be
does have
paying
a tail?
attention.
Good question.
Like that's a red flag now.
Have you seen their sixth toe? Like she's gonna be gorgeous, gorgeous, banging bod, but she's gonna have a sixth toe.
And the dudes,
Shallow Hell reference.
And the dudes too. They're gonna have web feet. They're gonna have Spider-Man webbings underneath their armpits.
Exactly.
Which would be pretty fucking badass.
This conversation is a roller coaster.
I'm just saying, but is this not true? There's the what Juan was talking about, the gay frogs and whatnot. If you actually look into the studies, these frogs are developing ovaries. They're developing like reproductive systems that they're not supposed to be having. So it's not far-fetched that like in 40 years, our human species are going to be dealing with like webbed armpits with boys and girls with like webbed feet or something. That'd be so cool if like my child just like
Your
it's a,
child's gonna be bored. You're just like, hi, father.
he's essentially a flying squirrel. Stop! Stop it! Just they're climbing the trees. They're flying around with their webbed shoulders.
It's gonna turn into X-Men.
I've seen this movie before.
That's the future, though. I mean, it's pretty much all fucked there. But one more thing we wanted to talk about: things that are fucked. Oh, funny enough, things that aren't getting fucked. Hey.
Yeah, that's right. What's not getting fucked nowadays?
So for those who are up to date with the news and check different news outlets, there's a popular news article or conglomerate called Psychology Today. They've released multiple different articles from the past. Psychology Today, they're pretty reputable source. Some people can say that some of their data is skewed so they can get more grants and more service and whatever. But this has been getting a lot of traction, so there's some validity to this. What we're going to be talking about today is the rise of lonely single men.
Ah.
Yes.
I'm familiar with that.
Hey.
Phil, if you could, I'm going to try to talk about this one between you and me and Michael because I feel like you carried the last subject pretty well.
All right, yeah. You guys, you being on the other side of the fence, the grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, in reality, the grass is greener where you wet it.
Exactly. The grass is greener where you water, right? That's what you're trying to
What
say.
I say? Where
When
you wet it?
like a fucking dog. You wet the bed.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, let's I mean, like, why do you gentlemen think that people today are so much lonelier than they used to be in like years past?
Well, part of it's probably just going to be the expectation of you should have more, right? You don't need to put up with a fucking jackass who's going to, I don't know, be physically or verbally abusive, right?
Yeah, that's a great point.
You've got a lot of people who are just much less willing to put up with that, right?
Great
Another
point.
thing is that being in a relationship is expensive, right? And you're dealing with millennials and Gen Zers in times when the economy is tight. So
Yeah,
it's really hard to like bone a girl when you're like you got to bring him back to your parents' home.
Well,
yeah,
that's a really good point.
That's a real thing that's going on.
That is real. That is true.
Now, in this generation, we're seeing more and more people like staying
Living at home.
until their 30s. Back then, in the 90s and 80s, you would hear stories of that, but then you hear like, "Oh God, something's wrong with them," right? There's already that stigma that's already built in. I'm like, "What? You still at home?" But nowadays, you're like, "Doggy, you're at home still, bro?" I was like, "Yeah, bro."
It's probably the same for women like not getting married, right? Like that stigma has fallen away as the years have gone by, right?
Not with me. Not with me.
Oh, not with you. Okay.
No, if I see you out there without a ring, I already think less of you.
Okay. Well, I will leave you to that. I will leave you to that.
Folks, this is a comedy podcast here.
He's the only one laughing.
I'm gonna get deplatformed like Andrew Tate. Shit. But that's what I think that's actually happening. It's the rise of
Of what,
expectations.
The rise of expectations not to get beat.
What?
Well,
that's a quick 180 right there.
Well, but Juan, you've ridden the pathway to success.
Yeah.
Relationship wise, like how do you see it? Right for those of us who are still lonely and alone.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the employment aspect has a lot to do with it. I think like the employment, housing, and like time have a lot to do with it. For example, like people are lonelier than ever, like not just like relationship wise, but also friend wise.
Yeah, that's
like so like if you have less friends, you have less potential partners as well. You know what I mean? That you're just dealing with less people. You've automized yourself into like much more of an individual or than part of a group. And
right, there's just less social gatherings for you to run into somebody.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So I think that's a really big part of it, and I do think that the fact that a lot of young people live at home has something to do with it. But I've also noticed a lot of young couples who deal with that situation. So like a lot of young couples where they're both living at home. So they just like Like it is like they both understand like it's quite literally like difficult to own a home at this age and in the current conditions. So they're not gonna like judge each other, you know, like
Yeah, it's not. I'm not too good for you anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm living in the same shit.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people like that. So like, if that's anybody out there like thinking and using that as an excuse, there is a girl version of you out there who's literally just as cool or just as shitty as you are, and
she's struggling just like you.
and she's living at home, and like a lot of people live at home. Like I know like people with like almost like 30 some dollar jobs who live at home because
Really?
like because like
The housing market's impossible to
and
find.
not even the housing market, they can afford like an apartment or anything, but they're like, why should I leave? Like I would be lonely, like I wouldn't be around anybody, like, and like they just live with like one or two parents, you know.
See, it's funny that you mentioned that like the loneliness that like not either just in like relationships but like friendships. I've I've gone through different jobs here and there, right, throughout my illustrious 26 years of living. And the one thing that I do notice at like factories or retail jobs is that sense of like friendship. You get that one guy like, hey man, what's up, man? That friendly dude. You're like, oh, this guy's pretty cool. Then he lingers or they linger like, you want to hang out this weekend? What are you doing this weekend? You're like, oh, I'm pretty busy, and goes on and goes on and goes on. And they finally get you. You're like, oh, I think I'm free. You're like, you want to hang out now? You free right now?
You trying to hang out? What are you doing?
And like, so you got that going on, that loneliness that's, in friendship and all that stuff. I think because we're such a digital age, right?
Yeah.
So it gets that to do with like the dating side too. So like, if you're a dude, the three of us, if we were to go on like any dating apps, our percentage would be probably much lower than that to our opposite sex.
As far as people that actually like you on the dating app. You mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
when
can
you
speak from experience on that.
so it makes up this like
Well, guys are like
this market essentially.
To like give some context there, guys make up like 60%
True, it's already weighted.
of the digital like the people in those dating apps. So like there's literally two guys for every girl. Like yeah, of course they're gonna have an easier time. And guys are hornier.
And of that 60%, these ladies have like it's supply and demand, right? They have the business incentive to go with the best of the best.
Right.
So that 60% just goes down to like 10 or even 5% of the male population that are online. And it's much harder, to get a genuine connection other than like, oh, I love your abs. Oh, you're 5'4"? Oh.
Please tell me the time that you had someone.
Well, I mean, girls love tall guys. Guys love short girls. It's I don't know what it is. Right?
Is
Fellers?
that right, Michael? Do you love short women?
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty short myself, so.
So you would.
So by definition, anyone who's the same height as me, right,
is already shorter.
Is already pretty short, right? So.
Yeah. All right. That's a good point. That's a good point.
And another observation that I've made recently, since you're talking about like loneliness and like the job.
Give us some reasons that you guys think that this phenomenon is happening.
Now, I'm gonna put my I might offend somebody with this.
When do you not?
That would be astounding. Yeah.
Now I'm devil's advocate here. I'm only here to play the other side, but there could be a reason that maybe women's suffrage is a reason for this. We see now, fellers.
No, please. Please keep stabbing yourself.
Now, fellers.
It's fine.
Fellers.
Let me tell you what.
This one's for.
I'll tell you what.
This one's for the dudes out there, for the bros. If you got a lady and she's working in a factory, it's over.
Get you a new girl, bro. Get you a new girl. She's for the streets.
You get a second job, or you start getting a divorce lawyer because she's gonna leave your ass for the next high. Like those dudes in factories, it's Shark Week for them. Whenever there's like relationship problems, it's blood in the water.
Whenever, in a factory, any girl who's like a 5 or above is like a 9 in there.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Like the guys will just treat them like just like like lick their lips anytime they're
They're
walking
like dogs.
by.
They're salivating and all that stuff. And
It's like dogs seeing like a female dog in heat.
They're quiet when they walk by, but as soon as that lady leaves or like whatever, they're like, damn, I'd probably fuck her if I could.
Jesus. And this is why we have HR departments.
Exactly.
Philip in there's like, I'd give her the best 3 minutes of her life.
I'd let her burn a cigarette on me. But
I'd let her piss in my mouth.
So you got that, the rise of porn, another thing too.
That is
probably.
That's a great point too.
Mm-hmm.
It's readily available, free, and just it substitutes for a lot of people, right?
Yeah. And for out of the three of us here, we can go down the line of like successful relationships, but the key thing here is communication, right? Yeah. Communication
that helps a lot.
and trust, being, knowing that your partner is not going to go sleep with some random person at the factory.
You got to have confidence.
Another part that's like not mentioned many times that the article
vibrators,
kind of mentioning
dildos.
No, like you got to have your shit together. Like you personally have to have your shit together before like you kind of bring somebody else that's gonna want to be a part of like whatever you have going on, because like once they see that you don't have your shit together, a lot of times like here come some relationship issues or like something else,
because you yourself now look much less attractive than was initially thought.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But it's not even just like about like looks or appearances. Like sometimes like you gotta have your shit together, like socially wise. Like you gotta have like a few friends. You gotta have like family members that you don't fucking hate. You know what I mean? Like you can. It's fine. Everybody has like a few family members that they don't get along with, but it's slightly awkward if you like have nobody like to visit. Like I do believe that like you should have like some sort of like social roots between your own friends and family separate from your partners.
If you find yourself in a situation like that, I think the best way to go about that is to lean into it, right? Because if you're already like have a dysfunction in family, what have you, there's that cliche of like girls love bad guys, and there's some truth to it.
Great point, Phil.
Well, I'm trying to be funny here.
Gotta
but
turn
like,
lemons into mayonnaise.
But seriously though, all these like ladies that I know of, like they're in the festival scene, they're in that rave scene, right? They love a felon. They
always have it going on too.
Like there's that meme of like, oh, you have 14, you're on parole, you got 14 domestic battery assaults. Like it's that rave girl. She's like,
remember that beautiful felon from like early 2012 or some shit?
Oh yeah, that makeup, that model.
Exactly.
Blue eyes and like
the one. Yeah, exactly.
Bro, he became famous when he got out.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear about this.
No, he was really popular. Like he had this like steel blue eyes.
There was this one like inmate who had his check-in photo mugshot. Go ultra famous, ultra viral because he was so beautiful. Like he was bald, but just had like this incredible bone structure and really blue eyes while being really tan. So like this combination of features you don't see a lot, and he became a model right away when he left prison. So.
But then again, like there's that one guy, and then you have
good for him, right? Yeah, right. That as a representative to say. Girls love a toxic bad boy,
But they do, though. That's one guy, right? And then you have all these different programs where they can write letters to felons. They can, like, how did you get here? Oh, like, and these guys were like, yeah, I did this and this, but, like, I'm trying to get, like, I'm looking for a girlfriend ready to commit. And they're like, oh, my God, I love you. Writing back and forth, creating this penmanship, you know. And I think the reason why they're so attracted to these felons is discipline, right? They're incarcerated, so they don't got much freedom to go wild. They have a structure, a disciplinary guideline, right? And I think that's what's missing for a lot of young males, or I guess males in their 20s and 30s are like seeing a new rise of loneliness we've never seen before. Is structure and discipline. You need to set a structure, a schedule of like, this is the day I do this, I do that. It's the little things, baby steps,
Well, even that and having higher aspirations as well. Like I've been told that is something that is good. You want someone with a plan, right? Someone that has an idea that they want to go somewhere, right?
Exactly.
It looks more impressive.
And if you looked at my daily planner, when I wake up, the first thing I write down is get pussy.
That would not be the way to go about it, but
you don't manifest it that way.
No, you
just
don't.
keep writing it down.
I'm sensing that part of the problem, right? Why you would be so lonely if that's your aspiration.
Get pussy.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question, Mike. You brought up a really good point, but I feel like there's a lot of people who have a hard time, like, settling in on a plan. If that makes any sense.
No.
But like they still have their shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're not necessarily people who have anything like any one aspect of their life that's like way out of whack, you know. But like how do you
don't feel driven to go?
Who
don't
have
thing.
one specific driver in their life? And I met somebody like that at my job.
President Obama.
I'm not gonna give any details, but and they're you know what? Phil, edit that out. Who's a former professional in a field, and they're having a hard time like deciding like I've spent like 20 years in here, but I don't know if this is what I want to do when I grow up. And those were their exact words, and I would already call them a grown up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, well, I mean, it is tough. So I've kind of felt that way myself. Like graduating high school, why did I go to college? I went to undergrad college because I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
After I graduated undergraduate from college, still didn't have a plan. Right. It wasn't until I got into the workforce and I was there that actually even then, right, still not really a plan, but had this general idea that all right, it was time to turn a chapter. Let's try something new. That's how I went into higher education. And it was finally there that something clicked and I finally had, like, I want to do that specific thing. So I'm wondering, maybe it's partially exposure. It's probably partially just being risk adverse, right?
Yeah.
Like, you get comfortable, right? You get comfortable in what you know. Like, I'm comfortable here in Wisconsin because this is where all my family is. This is where all my friends are. And if there isn't something that I'm like, I really want to do that to drag me somewhere else, right? It becomes very hard to incentivize myself to take a risk or to go somewhere or to try to find something new because I know this is comfortable for me. So really, like, to have those higher aspirations, you have to first they need to occur to you in the first place, and second, you need to be willing to sacrifice a lot of things that are very important to you in order to pursue them.
That is true. To piggyback off both of you guys' point, what Juan was saying.
President Obama.
It's kind of like what echoes what Fauci was going through. So for like, 40 years, he was a medical professional for the government. And then these last 2 years, he just became a celebrity, a spokesperson, essentially. Disney even made a documentary about Fauci.
Yeah, I think he was Time Man of the Year.
Yeah. And, he's out there giving all these speeches and, going on TV and talking it up and all that stuff. Getting a little Disney documentary out there. Sometimes you start off good with a heart of gold, and then you get greedy, and you're like, I want to be in the limelight. And I think that's what's happening with your dude over there. He was.
You think he's greedy and wants to be in the limelight?
He was a professional in a field that is honored, respectable, reputable, and tossing that aside for some cheap applause and flair.
Fair.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. We will review
That's why they call me Felonious Twain.
Is that Mark Twain, but a felon?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, that's how Mark Twain got the ladies.
Didn't you know that?
By being a felon.
Felonious Twain.
Didn't you know that, Mike?
I thought Mark Twain said something about, like, he wasn't attracted to anyone who would be attracted to him, right?
Is that who said that?
I thought it was Mark Twain, but a lot gets attributed to Mark Twain.
That would make sense. That
else.
Mark Twain was African American, so he was slightly racist too, if I remember correctly.
What goes on in the world?
What are you talking about?
What is in that brain of yours?
Okay, now there's some validity to what I just said, because William Shakespeare.
Okay.
Nobody knows if he was a real person.
Well, no, William Shakespeare is a real person, but there's a lot of dispute of whether or not he actually wrote anything.
Precisely. And that's the same logic I'm bringing over to the Mark Twain camp. Was he or was he not African American? Folks, we're going to be taking a poll. We're going to let you, the viewers at home, decide.
You should take that poll. See what happens. I bet you'll get a lot of support for your position.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be right back after these messages. And we're back.
Back and
Better
browner
than
than
ever.
ever. What?
Browner.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
just it's synonymous.
Am I browner than ever? Does that make me?
Let's see.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
let's fake it a little bit.
Okay.
There we go.
Hey, we almost fucking matched.
Look at that.
I need a 10. That
Just a
reminds me.
couple shades.
I'm a 10. I need a 10.
That's the
we
forearms
need
of a
to go 10
hard-working man.
together, Mike.
Oh yeah. You come out looking like a bronze statue. I come out looking like a lobster. It'll be great.
Honestly, if you went with the spa with us, they'd probably treat you like a king. You'd be Godzilla to them.
Why Godzilla?
Well, I mean,
Here comes this monster from the ocean.
Right, yeah. Thanks.
as
Thanks,
soon
I
as Michael
appreciate
takes off his trousers, they're gonna be like,
Oh.
"Oh my God!" They're
that.
gonna even start running.
Call the
for
military.
hills.
Kill this thing, please.
This is what took out Nagasaki. Did I say that right?
I don't know.
Nagasaki.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
What
Honestly,
is-
yours was probably closer than I am. Than mine.
Well, I like to be authentic.
If there's any trait that we can attribute to Phil, it's authenticity.
Authentic.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's all we try to provide here at Bro Taste is a genuine viewing experience with the homies, with the homegirls, or with the non-binary pansexual freaks out there.
What final tip would you give all your lonely homies and, amigas out there?
For the fellers, I'm gonna go one by one. For the fellers, if it ain't working out there, there's some older alternatives now. I'm just saying.
This is wonderful advice.
Is this
Give up.
what you had to do?
Wait, now hold on there. Now hold on there. Now, no. Me, I took option C, and that's the way of Christ. See, let me give you the three options here. You can start knocking on the trans community door, but you're going to be surprised at who opens it. B, you become asexual and you go be a Boy Scout leader. What we need.
I don't know.
Not
That
sure
makes
if
me nervous. That one makes me
Where's
nervous.
this pathway
That
going?
one makes me
bud?
nervous.
Now, hold on there. Hold on there. Now, hold on there, folks.
A sexually frustrated Boy Scout leader harasses 40 kids in a small town.
Cites Philip the Golden Corral as his inspiration.
Your Honor, I was hangry. Your Honor.
Your Honor, it's not my fault no women will pay attention to me.
Or option C, you get rid of the pleasure of the flesh and you go with the pleasure of the Lord. The Bible verses, passages. Have them be your shepherd in this valley of dry pussy.
It was almost inspirational, and then, like godly, and then you just kind of.
I feel like you'd give a great football coach speech.
Honestly.
A great halftime speech.
Go on, take a knee, boys. Go on, take a knee. Now, I know we're losing pretty badly. It's the third quarter. And our star quarterback has malaria. But we have grit. Grit and passes for free scoopies at Culver's.
Hands out to each of you. Get a touchdown for me, boys.
So no matter what happens here, boys, we are the true winners. See, this is Friday Night Lights here.
What about you, Mike? Do you have any tips for any people out there looking for somebody else?
So, the first thing you have to do, clearly, is get involved in a social situation, right? Don't know what it's going to be. You probably won't know which one is going to be what gets you involved, right? With somebody. It might come out of nowhere.
Would you
right?
say staging a coup on your state capital as a good meetup spot for love interest?
That probably...
that is actually a very interesting question.
That would probably be a
right?
great dating place.
How many people in those crowds are like, oh, hey, you're insane, and so am I. We have something that we share together. Yes. Great disregard for the law. Right. we should go out.
You're a radical, and I'm insane. This is perfect.
Right. So get involved in social situations, and then if you see an opportunity, right, or maybe it's not even an opportunity.
I don't like the way you phrase that.
No, let him finish.
No, that's fair. That's
let him
fair. No, I
finish.
should have gone a different direction. But anyway, if something comes up, even if it's just got the smallest smidge of potential, right? Don't do what you're tempted to do, which is to ignore it. If someone reaches out to you, it says, "Hi, I had an enjoyable time with you at blah blah blah," right? Here's a joke, right? A throwaway joke. That's someone reaching out to try to talk with you. Yeah. They're trying to be your friend, right? Maybe that's the spark. Maybe that's where you start. Explore it. Be interested. Worst case scenario, you're no worse off than you were before.
Wait, are you telling me that I've been doing this completely wrong? I message people and I get back to them 2 days later, playing hard to get.
No, don't do that. Don't play hard to get.
Yikes.
That's a bad idea. That is bad advice.
He's got to return some messages right now.
He's on it. He is on it.
But anyway, Michael, thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Wait, hold on. You didn't give your solution to the.
Honestly, my solution would have been exactly the same as Michael's. Anybody who's having that sort of trouble, it's usually because you're not putting yourself in enough social situations. And if you are in a good amount of social situations and you're still having trouble connecting with other people, you should probably look at doing some work on yourself a little bit. Trying to maybe ask your closest friends or family, am I socially awkward? Is there something about me that the other sex would find odd, weird, whatever, yeah, I think that's a thing that you could do,
And honestly, that's the syllabus for Andrew Tate's Hustler University.
Yeah, and yeah,
verbatim,
honestly,
that's the syllabus to you pay $60 to enroll to this online college just to learn that to be comfortable in your skin.
Yeah,
and
you pay $60 to learn to wipe your ass.
Yeah,
essentially.
That and quote unquote by the syllabus
that you should do your bad.
All women are whores. According to the syllabus of Andrew Tate.
Okay.
Yeah, look it up. We'll put the link in the description below.
So I assume you know what you're talking about.
Hustlers University. That's actually what his school is called.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we might have to edit that out though.
For the hustlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the hustlers out there, for the G's,
for the real G's,
for the top G's, bro. Dude, I'm sorry about parking my Bugatti in your grass, by the way.
And if someone says that you're a misogynistic anti-feminist, just say, what color is your Bugatti? That's right. Your Bugatti. Well, folks, thank you for joining us for another exciting episode. And hopefully our tech daddy Luis gets back and better. Mm-hmm. And going forward, if we're ever not on the show, we will be replaced by a white guy. We'll have a circulation of white people ready on the go. So we
ready to roll.
Substitute right in. Yep. Thank you, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share your podcast wherever you get it. And go on YouTube and Instagram. We're doing a lot of work out there. We're really proud of the time we've been putting in and the content we're putting out. So I've been talking too long.
Later, we should have a video on a lot of peach recipes, which should be coming out, where we rate, I want to say 7 or 6 peach dishes that were all submitted by our friends and family, and we taste test all of them and decide which one's the best.
Sounds like a fun one.
Yeah, it was a fun one, yeah.
It reminds me of my favorite childhood movie, Juan and the Giant Peach.
There
Folks,
you go.
Thank you for an exciting time. Don't forget to tip your waiters and waitresses.
Have a great week.